Greetings and blessings from the Most High, Jah Rastafari. Crawford Ashley here, the spiritual boxer, and this is my Lonsdale belt. And I'm going to speak about the Lonsdale belt today, about my journey and the fights to it, starting with Roy Skeldon, then Jimmy Peters, and Glass Campbell, and that's when I won the belt. So I'll put that down and I'll start. My first fight was for Roy Skeldon, and it was in Birmingham, in Dudley Town Hall, his backyard. He was called the Tipton Slasher. Now before that fight he was supposed to fight Steve McCarthy, who was the champion, and McCarthy pulled out at the weigh-in, hurried down to the fact that I wasn't getting enough money. Well, that's fair if that's the reason, but that left Roy in limbo. So I was the #1 challenger basically. So I get to the fight, but about a week and a half before the fight I have this weird dream, man, and it was playing on my mind. And in the dream I'm boxing, and all of a sudden everything goes quiet, really quiet, and I'm just stood in the corner under like a spotlight, and it's really eerie, and this voice says, you killed him. And I wished that, and it was, no, never. Yeah, you did. And these are the voices, and it's going on for about 5-10 minutes, and I just wake up in this cold sweat, and I try and put it out of my mind, but it's been playing on my mind for a while. So it's coming to fight night, and I wanted a ring walk music, and a friend of mine, Jeff, got his sister's boyfriend to do this for me. And let's see if I can get it on. And when I was walking to the ring, all I could see was all the people rocking to the music. I'm in his backyard. And this crowd are rocking to my tune. That just made me smile. Anyway, I love this tune. I don't know if it's the first or second round. I've got him on the ropes and I go in to finish him off, and then have a little flashback to the dream, so I ease off, and as I ease off I go back, and it's like I want to finish him, but there's something holding me back, and the commentator says I was showboating and the crowd were booing, and I just thought, wow, when I watched it back, not then, I just thought, wow, if they actually knew what was going through my head, would they wanted me to go in and finish it, because I didn't want to. Anyway, I win the fight, I think it's 7th round on cuts. So it's the music gets me. But if you listen to the words are that for me. Don't test me. It's just simple, because I'm just, I don't know what I'll do. And I remember winning the fight and the referee holding my hand up and they're putting the belt around my waist, and I saw this guy on the balcony. Z Kyle, you black bastard, Z Kyle. And I just stood in the middle of the ring and went, come on down. Because the voice in my head said, you've already beat their champion, he's the best you've got. Come on in if you want me, I don't have a problem with that. And it was funny because after I've got ready and got changed, I went to see my mates in the bar. And as I walk into the bar, the first guy I see is this guy with the Z Kyle. Comes over to me to apologise. I'm sorry. I said, listen mate, you pay your money, you can say whatever you want. just walked off, left him. And I got the belt. And when I came back to Leeds the next day, I'm in the 40 and I've just ordered a drink. And this guy comes up to me and goes, "You won't keep it." I went, "What?" He went, "That belt, you won't keep it." I just cracked out laughing, man. I just said, it's good to be home. My next fight was Jimmy Peters. Well, that's finished. I really enjoyed that tune and I hope you did. It were a blast from the past. Now my second fight was Jimmy Peters. Now Jimmy Peters was a very good fighter. I think he had 19 fights and won 18, and the one he lost was on a clash of heads. And back in them days, he didn't go to the scorecard, he just lost. So he got a cut, clash of heads. But he got a return with the guy and he beat him, so in my eyes he's unbeaten. Now everything for that fight just went perfect, absolutely perfect. I was living in a different dimension. I was floating on, I don't know, I was just in a different world. And I remember waking up for the morning of the fight and Eastwood's picked me up. We've gone to a different airport, it's on a small little private runway. I've gone in a private plane. Now this plane is like a Ford Escort with wheels. You've got the pilot, you got me, then you had Eastwood and his gopher, and then behind him you had Bernardo Checker. And I always wanted to fly a plane, and now I'm a co-pilot. It was fantastic, man. We pushed it out of the hangar, got into the plane and flew. And the pilot was telling us a story about how after World War II we was doing some exercises in Cyprus and a bird hit the wing, hit the propellers, flew into a flock of birds and he had to eject. Now Bernardo at the back shouts out, "Did you survive?" Now I just cracked out laughing, man. That killed me. I was just laughing for about the rest of the journey. I just couldn't stop laughing. I was hurting, I was just laughing that much every time I kept thinking about what Bernardo had said. And then we get into this private airfield and we go into customs, and the custom guy goes, "What, you here, business or pleasure?" And I went, "Pleasure." And Eastwood goes, "You know, it's business." So the guy said, "What's the business?" So Eastwood tells him, "I'm fighting tonight." "Oh, Jimmy Peters' his dad is his best friend." And I just said, "I'm sorry, I'm going to have to beat him up." And he went, "You're confident, aren't you?" No, he went, "You're cocky, aren't you?" I said, "No, just confident. I just know." And we get there and it was, them days it was between 12 and 1 was the weigh-in. And I get there about 1:45, so I've got no chance of, if I'm overweight, making weight. And I'm eating a sandwich going to the weigh-in. And I weighed 12 stone 3.5, no, 12 stone 4.5 I think it was. And I remember Jimmy Peters coming over, shaking my hands and says, "Thank you for coming." And I just looked him straight in the eyes and he says, "Thank me after the fight." And them days, like I say, he got weighed in 12 till 1 and then he fought at night about 9 o'clock. So they put me in this hotel room, and the hotel room's right at the side of a lift shaft which was going up and down all the time, and above a gym which had a class on. And I was just lying in bed just smiling to myself. I had this biggest smile on my face and I was laughing every time I thought about what Bernardo had said in the plane. And it just basically, I don't know, I was in, like I said, I was in a really good place. And then when I get to the venue, it's just all these people, everything. I think there must have been about 20, 30 of my mates down there. There might have been a few more. But the atmosphere was brilliant. It was heavy, it was thick, it was all against me, and I love that. It gives me kind of like an energy fed off it. And when I got in the ring with him, man, it was weird because, like I said, I was in a different dimension. Everything just seemed in slow motion to me, and I seen him pull his right hand back to throw it, and I hit him with a jab, boom, and then I hit him with another one, boom, and then I just basically jumped on him, just kept hitting him, putting him in. I think I threw 55 shots unanswered, 55 punches that landed on him unanswered in about 50 seconds or something, and the referee stopped the fight. The crowd was silent. It was brilliant. I like silence. It was absolutely brilliant. And then after that fight, I've gone into the bar, and one of these guys says, "Oh, will you sign this autograph for me?" To I can't remember his name. Beat the bum, Jimmy Peters. And I just looked him straight in his eye. I said, "He's not a bum." I said, you know what I mean? I said, the reason why I performed that way is because I was scared. I just left him. And it was supposed to be his cousin. And I'm thinking, wow, I haven't beat a bum. I beat somebody who's good. Unbeaten, basically. And I just thought, he's the bum for saying things like that. And that was just weird. But I've seen the fight over, I've got it somewhere, and it's like, Mickey Duff's face was brilliant. That's all I can. It's just laughing when I see his face sat in the ringside, man. I just makes me smile. So my next defence is against Glass Campbell. Glass was my first loss as a pro. Well, I'm not going to say a loss. I didn't get the decision. You can debate whichever way you want. But in my eyes, I beat him. First 8-round fight as well. 8-2s back in them days. So I've got a return with him, and it's in Belfast. And I'm full of cold. And I've had a few arguments with Eastwood. And I've asked him, if I lose, can I get my contract back? And he just says to me, we'll talk about that after the fight. So now, I'm in the fight. The fight's crap. The fight is absolutely shit. Boring. And I've gone back to the corner and I said something to John. And John Breen just looked at me and says, nobody's interested in this fight, Crawford. Just get it over and done with and let's go home. He said, Eastwood's not going to give you your contract back. And I think it was that round or the following round, I caught him with a beautiful right hand and put him out. So I've won my Lonsdale belt. It's my belt. But I'd have lost that fight if I'd have got my contract back. So that's how much I didn't like Eastwood at the time. So here it is. Back again. My belt. This is my belt. And I'll tell you a story in part 2 about Nicky Piper and getting my belt back after giving it up. And the reason why I gave it up is because I was Norm McGee was a stablemate of mine, and he were a good boxer, and I thought he was in line for the title, and he went boxing against a kid called Maurice Carr, because I give it up so he could have an opportunity to get it. And Maurice Carr beat him, so I wanted it back. So part 2 will be me getting my title back. Anyway, till tomorrow or until part 2. Catch you on the other side. Bye.